I just want to reassure everyone, we should not be going bankrupt for Christmas. It's a silly reason to be broke.
Time is money, so spend yours listening to me talk about things that are important to me and my people.
Time is money. Okay. Hello. I'm so excited to be here because I've tried to record this probably about 4 times, and every time there has been a reason I can't carry on. Bringing this to you on the camera, which is a first, because I got sick of people telling me that this content is too good to be wasted on the setup that I was using, which is my phone. And then for some reason, when I put it into Adobe Pro, it like changes the colouring, so I just look really shit. And I don't know what's going on. I'm hoping that because I'm recording this on a camera, things will be different. Okay, I don't know if that's the case, but we're going with it. Work with me every week as I try and get this better. Also, I'm very aware it's the holiday season. In fact, that is what we're going to be speaking about on today's episode. Yeah, I made a wreath. Oh, it smells very nice. And I thought, why not talk about Christmas? But because of that, weekends are getting trickier and trickier for me to fit this recording and editing, and it's a whole thing. For me to fit it all in is getting harder. So I may have to drop these minisodes down to once every other week, so every other Monday. But I'm working, as always, in the background to get good content out. I'm going on more podcasts, and newsflash, I've got 7-8 series for you to be ploughing away at, so listen to some of them whilst there's the gaps in between episodes. Also, if there's something burning and pressing that you want me to consider before I make this decision, let me know. Message me, Gram, Spotify, email, you got it all there. Welcome to anybody new. Thank you for joining, and please message me, please interact. There's few of you who are dedicated enough for me to give you a response. I can't promise that when I blow. I can't. But for now, if you message me, you'll always get a reply. So just get in touch. Tell me how you found the pod. Tell me what's working. Tell me what you think I should be better at. I'm all ears because I want this to be my day job, as I say all the time. I'm sick of working for the dollar. It's doing my head in. I want to do this. I want to be on a panel somewhere talking the talk. So thank you for joining. Continue to support. Really appreciate it. Let's get into this episode. So I want to talk about Christmas. Now, I'm recording this on the Sunday, 1st of December. You're going to hear it on Monday the 2nd. December's upon us. I haven't got a tree because, if I'm honest, every year I haven't really cared about Christmas. Christmas for me has been quite a triggering time. Historically, it's been quite hard. First of all, let me start with my origin story. As you may know, I grew up in East London. East London is very diverse, and I would say where I grew up in East London anyway, the main religion was actually Islam and it wasn't Christianity. We've obviously always lived in the UK, but there was never a pressure to celebrate Christmas, put it that way. And everyone was happy doing their own celebrations for their own time of year. Everything was good. So Christmas was never about presents for my brother and I, but it was definitely about family time and food. Then we moved to North London, which was very white and not as diverse, and the majority of people are Christian. Even those who aren't or who are ethnic assimilate. So Christmas is a biggie, basically. And it wasn't a biggie for the same reasons that I just stated. It wasn't because it was family time and it was food. It was because it's presents. So I would get very uncomfortable every year when it was after Christmas holidays. In fact, I would dread Christmas holidays a little bit because I knew it was going to come after. It would be people coming in, posting. We didn't have social media that much then, thank God, so we didn't see the pictures of it. But it would be when people came back from holidays, they would be talking about how much they got. What did you get? What did you get? What did you get? And like I said, in my house, it wasn't really a thing to get presents. So we just didn't really have anything to say. And that would be a bit tough. And then people automatically think the reason you don't have a lot to say about Christmas is because it's not your religion. And that wasn't the reason. It was just because we didn't grow up with Christmas and presents being the sole thing there. So that was also hard. So, not like the best relationship with Christmas. And then as I got older, my family dynamic really changed, and it wasn't that happy family anymore. So that also meant that it was a difficult time, because it's not a time where, you know, everyone's going to be happy and it's going to be great. It's going to be probably quite a lot of sadness, which was hard. So then I started going on holiday. From when I was about 18, I would go on holiday at Christmas every year for about 5 years, I want to say. And then I started going out with my partner. And about 2 years into that, because Christmas is a thing for him, he was like, you got to stop. Like, I want to share Christmas with you. Christmas is important to me. We need to make something happen here. So from like 23, for the last 5 years, he's been chipping away at me. And each year I've progressively got a bit more into it. And this is the most into it I'm at now. I've reached my peak of into Christmas. I've made a wreath. Hello. Like, tell me you're in Christmas without telling me, you know. I actually would have got a tree this year if I'd had a bit of support from the people around me, such as the person I live with. But I also don't like the waste. And that brings me nicely onto what I want to talk about. So now you got my backstory. It's probably not going to come as a surprise to you that I don't like the wastefulness, the consumerism, and the pushiness of material expense at Christmas. That is like my biggest gripe. That's number one. I realise I number things a lot in these episodes. And number two is this expectation that everyone has that Christmas is going to be the same for everyone. And like, people are like, oh my God, Christmas, excited. And I've already shared how I feel about people expecting me to be excited about things. But like, Christmas is hard for a lot of people. If you've lost a loved one, if you don't have a good relationship with your family, it's a shit time. I'm just going to say it is. And no matter how you try and play it, you can go on holiday, it's still shit, because everyone around you cares about Christmas, they're sad, they're not at home. If you stay at home, you're disappointed because the people you've got around you aren't the people you want it to be, and they're just not doing what they're supposed to be doing. And it's just every step of the way, it is hard if you're not in that happy family Christmas life. So I just wanted to make people aware of that. People who may not know, this might be news to everybody, but if this is news to you, you're lucky in that you have got a nice setup where Christmas is enjoyable for you, probably because you have a nice relationship and setup with your family, and you probably get presents, but that isn't the case for everybody. So I just wanted to lay that out as a number one. And the number two is that I just want to reassure everyone, we should not be going bankrupt for Christmas. It's a silly reason to be broke. I get that people think Christmas is what we've always done, and my kids, I do it for the kids, it makes their life, it's so good. But I don't think it's right to raise kids with the expectation that no matter what's going on in the world, you are always going to get presents on this time of the year for no reason. I'm not talking to people who are actually, you know, practicing Christians and Christmas is a part of their faith. I'm not speaking to you guys because you lot carry on. But for the people that are quite indifferent about religion and, you know, celebrate Christmas because we live in the UK and we sort of have to, it's the one time a year that we all get off on holiday, I don't think we should all be pushing ourselves to give kids this incredible fairy tale Christmas for many reasons. One, the wasteful side of it. You're raising the kids to think that no matter what's going on, we're in a cost of living crisis right now. This is our third Christmas here. And on our first Christmas here, I remember having so much more money. And that's over 3 years. Like, what I'm earning hasn't significantly changed. What we are spending on hasn't significantly changed. But the cost of everything has just tripled. So that's why we have so much less money. And like, I would like my future kids to understand that I will do what I can do, but it is held back by the reality that we're living in. And I always remember around Christmas being really confused with like people I went to school with, for example, because these lot wouldn't have money for lunch. Like, they wouldn't have money for lunch. They couldn't get new stuff. But when it would come to Christmas, they were getting the most. And I only realised later that it was because their families were getting a lot of things on credit. And I've spoken about this in series 7 of my pod as well with Kia. But like, introducing that whole we live on credit so that we can make you happy for one day of the year, is beautiful in a sense because it's like a form of sacrifice, but not if you're now going to be angry and resentful at those kids every time they play with that toy that's literally taken your last penny, because they're going to sense that and pick up like that this wasn't a nice thing, and in the end they're not going to play with it after 2 minutes because they're a kid. So I don't agree with it. I don't think it's right, and I'm sorry if that offends you, but I think we need to change as a culture how we feel about materialism and consumerism, because it's clearly not going well. Let's have a look at the economy. And then the other side of it is, which happened to us as kids, my mum used to go all out for Christmas. Like I said, Christmas was like a exciting time, not necessarily because of the presents, but because it was family. There would always be the traditions like the tree, the food, etc. And then some years, my mum wasn't able to do it. She was tired, she was depressed, she was whatever was happening for her in her life. But we now have the expectation that she's supposed to do it. So now we're really disappointed that it's not that. So I'm against having expectations, the kids having the expectations on you to do certain things. And they're just going to end up disappointed on the times when you can't do it. Because there will be times you can't do it. And what do we do then? You know? So yeah, that's my rant / minisode. And I really hope it does something for someone. I know I don't sound it, but I am happy that it's Christmas time. I'm happy we're all going to be off together and we can all celebrate with our people. And I'm happy that, you know, there's going to be more chocolate in the house. Those are good things I'm happy about. But I'm not going to go mad and bankrupt myself. And here's a little secret. Everything's going to be cheaper the day after Christmas. So buy it all then. Let's end it there. I'm trying to keep these mini. Thank you so much for listening. Please share with whoever you enjoy sharing with. Please encourage people to subscribe. Please look out for the other stuff that I'm doing. Get in touch on the socials. I've mentioned this before, but you can also donate towards the podcast in the link in the description. It's called Buy Me a Coffee. I think the purpose of it is that you put enough in there that like I would need to buy a coffee. So I'm in London, let's remember, so that'll be £20. And it's just a nice thing to do. And I can re-put that money into like paying an editor, for example. But it would be lovely. To date, no one has given anything, which I'm not mad at. But we are in the season of giving, all right? So if you want to spend your money anywhere, put it towards Maya's Minutes. Have a great week, everybody. And I will see you, not next week, but the week after. Mwah!